How's it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with a quick video addressing the Manti Te'o situation. I actually wasn't going to make a video about this, but I had a few people comment on my videos asking me to make a video with my reaction and thoughts on the whole entire ordeal, so I decided I will make a quick one before I go to sleep. I wasn't going to, but what the heck. And if you've been under a rock, this is news that was broke hours and hours ago. I was late on it anyway, so that's another reason why I didn't make one right away. But I mean, if you haven't heard, which you probably have, Manti Te'o has admitted that his girlfriend never even existed. The one that was claimed to die hours after his grandmother did. I believe his grandmother did in fact die. That's true. But his girlfriend never even existed, and none of this makes sense. And he is claiming to be a victim of this situation. And what it all comes down to is Manti Te'o trolled the whole entire college football world into being voted number 2 in the Heisman. Without this whole entire situation where his girlfriend died of leukemia, he's not number 2 in the Heisman. He's not even in the talk. That just created an emotion that went across the whole entire college football world surrounding the one player, which actually made people root for him, and that makes me sick to my stomach. I recall so many times on here talking about Manti Te'o, how it was insane a guy like him is playing like he was after all the stuff he'd gone through, and that makes me sick to my stomach. And it turns out to be that none of it's even true. What kind of person makes up a girlfriend dying of cancer or leukemia? That's just something is absolutely wrong with him, and none of this stuff makes sense. Because first of all, I don't care what you say, it's completely 100% obvious that he is lying about this. He's came out and made a statement saying that he only knew her online, they talked on the phone, etc., etc. That's all he ever did was talk on the phone. That's how he met her, over online. And that makes no sense because his parents are quoted in articles months and months ago, right after the death of the girl or his girlfriend, and saying that they met at a Stanford game. She's came to Hawaii and met with their family, visited Hawaii. So if they only talked over the internet or on the phone and never met, that's contradicting what he's saying, and none of this makes sense, man. Another thing that doesn't make sense is I guess a former teammate of Manti Te'o, I'm not really sure. The current fullback for the Arizona Cardinals is saying that the girl exists. That makes no sense. Manti Te'o himself has even came out and said the girl doesn't exist. I'm pretty sure if it's his girl, if it was his girlfriend, he would know. That makes no sense, man. I don't understand what to think of that part of the situation. But what I do know is I'm about 99% sure that, not 100% sure that he is lying, and I believe he should just come out clean and just, I mean, he's making it too obvious. I mean, there's so many loopholes in his story. His whole entire quote is contradicting himself. I can't wait until I hear a reporter ask him, well, what about your parents and yourself actually quoting that your girlfriend visited you in Hawaii, you met her at a Stanford game, y'all exchanged numbers there. So if you never met her in real life, what's the deal with that? So somebody is lying here, and it's almost guaranteed that it's Manti Te'o, and this makes me completely sick to my stomach how he had so many fans out there. He had little kids looking up to the guy because of his situation in his story, and it turns out to be a complete lie, and that's ridiculous. But I do know he's a good football player, and there's some NFL team that's somewhere around pick 25 through 30 that's kind of smiling and grinning, saying keep letting him drop down that draft board because they want to draft him, and that's understandable. But it makes no sense because the guy seemed like such a classy individual, high integrity type of individual, role model. Turns out to be such a sick person to make up a girlfriend and a death of a girlfriend just to make himself look like a better individual and an emotionally strong individual, and that's just absolutely pathetic, man. And this story is almost laughable. I mean, there's absolutely no way out of this for Manti Te'o. He's gonna have to come forth. People are gonna be asking him questions, and there's no possible way he can avoid the question or lie in a fashion that will get him out of it. Because there's no way. Because he's not a victim, and I've seen most Notre Dame fans actually agree with me and understand this. They're not being biased about it, but I have seen some Notre Dame fans saying he's just a victim. You guys don't understand. What don't we understand? He made up a girlfriend's death to make himself look better. And he did a good job at it because he about won the Heisman. And if it wasn't for this, he doesn't come close to winning the Heisman. He's a great player. He's an excellent football player. But I have some questions if he's a mentally stable person, because nobody in their right mind would do that. And if he initially, when he did this, he knows eventually somebody's going to find out. And why do you do that? I mean, just very easily somebody could have looked into the records of this girl, trying to see if she's actually a real girl. And obviously, luckily for him, nobody did. And I'm not sure if anybody. I'm sure down the road somebody would have. And it's just such a weird situation. He came out of nowhere. And what is the reasoning behind him finally coming clean to the athletic director? I'm not sure if he actually came clean. Who knows if they're trying to cover it up too? They probably are. I mean, they known about this since December 26th. So, I mean, obviously they've been trying to do whatever in the last few weeks to come up with the best possible way out of this. And there's not one. There just is no possible way. The second somebody asks him a question face to face about the quotes of him visiting his girlfriend visiting Hawaii, he's not going to know what to say, and I don't know if there's any possible thing he can say to get himself out of it, because there's really not. Also, I think they linked to pictures, the only few pictures that were up on the around the internet of the supposedly of the girl is not in fact the girl. It's some other girl that I think, I'm not sure if they said he knew her in high school or something, but that's who the picture's of, and wasn't his girlfriend, not dead. She came clean and said none of that's true. That she's just found out that the pictures were of her, and it's just sickening. Going back and watching that interview right after the two deaths, and it aired on ESPN, and he's just talking about how she's so beautiful, best girl she's ever met. He have to talk on the phone every single night. It's just sickening sitting there watching the guy just pull lies after lies after lies. And to think this guy was a role model for millions and millions of people out there. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying I looked up to him, but I thought the guy was a pretty cool guy. A role model for college football players out there. Now, what is he? I'm not going to go as far as to call him an absolute piece of trash, but I mean, somebody's got to be messed up and not in the right mindset to do something that he did. And it's just almost insane how he about accomplished the task of trolling the whole entire country into winning a Heisman Trophy, because he came this close to doing so. And man, this is such a complicated situation. Like I said, it's even more awkward now that the guy said that the girl actually exists, after Manti Te'o himself even went through the trouble of saying that she's not real. And supposedly somebody called him and said, and was in the girl's voice, so he was wondering if she's dead, why is it her voice? And I really don't understand this. Like, so many just contradictions made by the Te'o family, by Manti Te'o himself, by the university, and there's nothing good for Manti Te'o can come out of this. Nothing. He's just got to look forward to the NFL. He's going to get so much heat for this, probably his whole entire career. I mean, it's deserved. I mean, that's such a sick thing to do, and nobody. This is as bad as it gets. This is as bad as it gets without committing a felony or something, I guess. If you understand that, this is as bad as it gets, to the point where it's not a felony or something. It's just sick thing to do, and no normal individual makes up a death to make themselves look better. That's such a selfish, idiotic thing to do. He embarrassed his family, embarrassed the whole entire Notre Dame community, and embarrass himself tremendously, and he's going to feel that and suffer from that the rest of his career, deservingly so, unless some amazing fact comes out that miraculously all this he's saying is true, which I'm about 99% sure it's not. So let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comment section below. It's such a thorny situation, and we're going to learn more as information comes stringing in days after, and after the initial interview or announcement, whatever, from Manti Te'o himself on live TV or whatever he decides to do. Even if he mans up to doing it, we'll see how that is. Like I said, comment below, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. As you already know, obviously, I do all kinds of breaking news stuff and all kinds of stuff. So, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to talk about. I pretty much covered everything I could think of. So, have a great night, guys. As always, roll Tide, go Sox, and go Titans to you. I'll see you later, and have a great day. Have a great night.